Bulabinaka, my name is Litia and I'm from the beautiful island of Laos and I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
My name is Casey, I'm from Tavua. We love Today FM in Tavua. Today FM rocks.
My name is Selena, I'm from Tavenga Vengamba. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Pula, my name is Carlo. I love listening to the music in Today FM, in Malak Island. Today FM rock.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
In the news tonight, FEA to embark on a $200 million project. Speaker to make a ruling on AG's alleged breach. And student nurse allegedly stabbed this morning.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Spate.
The Fiji Electricity Authority is expected to embark on a $200 million capital project to build a second electricity grid in the next 5 years. The grid will be constructed to ensure that there is no power blackout in Viti Levu when lightning strikes. Pranita Prakash reports.
Questions were raised in Parliament today as to why the FEA generators were unable to meet the electricity demand during power blackouts.
The main grid, the line that comes from Monosavu goes to Vunda, that goes to Suva. If there's a lightning strike, as you know, that the Honourable Minister for Natural Disaster Management, the Honourable Prime Minister, has also mentioned in this House, because of the frequency of inclement weather, we do get a lot of lightning strikes, for example, in the middle of Viti Levu. It cannot be helped. The unfortunate thing, though, is we don't have any redundancy. So we have only one line. If that line gets struck by a lightning, electricity goes off.
This second electricity grid is expected to iron out power blackout issues.
Most countries in the world, you have a redundancy. So if one goes off, the other one picks up. Now, in order to, unfortunately this was not done, and in order to build a second line, it'll cost us US $100 million. Now, there is of course a capital projects plan in place, and we expect this line to be constructed in the next 5 years. US $100 million, in today's terms about 200 million Fijian dollars. That's the kind of capital input is required in FEA to stop any lightning strikes stopping us from getting any electricity.
The acting Minister for Infrastructure also clarified that FEA generators do not kick in straight away after the power blackout. He says the generators carries a lot of load, which is why it takes a few hours to start. Pranita Prakash, FBC News.
Speaker of the House Dr. Chico Luveni says that she will make a ruling at a later date after opposition MP Professor Biman Prasad raised in Parliament that Attorney General Ayaz Said Qayyum allegedly breached the standing order and also for allegedly misleading, bringing dishonour and disrepute to the House. Prasad says there was only a census in 2007 and not in 2000. He says that information on the 2017 census should be made public, especially when the exercise cost taxpayers about $14.5 million, which was budgeted in the 2017-2018 national budget.
The 2007 census, there is public information readily available that clearly shows aggregation of data on ethnicity. Everyone who was counted, Madam Speaker, willingly allowed strangers in the form of enumerators into their houses to extract very private and confidential information from them, with the understanding that this information is to be used for enhanced government services and support, and are now being told that the Bureau of Statistics has a competence issue, which I find very hard to believe because the previous statements are contrary to the statement from the Bureau today.
Census Commissioner from the Bureau of Statistics, Epeli Wangavonovono, says there was no reliable data on ethnicity in the 2017 census. In a statement released on their website, Wangavonovono says, as a result, no data on ethnicity could be accurately aggregated or released as part of the census results. He says while there was a question on ethnicity in the census questionnaire, after the review of the data and methods of the collection, the Bureau uncovered a number of anomalies that severely compromised the objectivity and completeness of the data set on ethnicity. Wangavonovono further explained that the Bureau found that many enumerators failed to verbally ask for the respondent's ethnic background. Instead, the data was collected based on the enumerator's observed assumption of the respondent's ethnicity. The issue on the release of the demographic data was highlighted in Parliament on Monday when the opposition leader Rotemu Mukepa asked Attorney General Aya Said Kayum to explain why the Bureau had not released the information. The AG, in his response, said no such data was collected. Attorney General Aya Said Kayum has labelled NFP's action on the Ndunguvatu rural electrification project as cheap politics. Said Kayum referred to a press statement released by the National Federation Party, which alleged that government failed to fulfil their promise of delivering power supply to residents of Ndunguvatu and Rakiraki. Ali Kimbia with the story.
While referring to the rural electrification project in Ndunguvatu, Attorney General Aya said Kayum pointed out the actions of the National Federation Party of trying to politicize the issue.
Madam Speaker, this is what you call cheap politics. What you call cheap politics, Madam Speaker. If the honourable members were genuine in actually finding out the correct information, firstly, I urge all members, read your budget papers. Read it. Read the supplements.
According to the 2018 budget, the Ndunguvatu electrification project will be completed by the end of this year. Said Kayum says NFP should refrain from lying to the people.
True Talanoa session, Honourable Samisoni. That's what true Talanoa session is about. That's what you call bringing service to the public. Not playing cheap politics and going to these unsuspecting people as they have been doing in Vanua Levu regarding butter, regarding all sorts of things.
However, NFP leader Professor Biman Prasad says the allegations made by AG is not true.
Extending his comments and bordering on accusations which are not true. We are still. He's talking about Vanua Levu. He's talking about Fiji Sun, and we know what Fiji First Sun newspaper does. This particular issue, Madam Speaker, is what the people told the General Secretary.
Said Kayum says there is availability of information and politicians should inquire as the public deserve to be given the right and correct information regarding government projects and initiatives. Ali Kimbia, FBC News.
A woman is dead after being allegedly stabbed by her husband in the early hours of this morning. The domestic violence-related incident is alleged to have occurred at a roundabout at Vakamasua Industrial Subdivision in Lambasa. Police Chief of Intelligence and Investigation, ACP Vakadengu Tonduandua, confirms the third-year nursing student was alive when Lambasa police arrived at the scene. They conveyed her to the Lambasa hospital where she passed away. The incident was reported to police by a member of the public. The woman's husband has been taken in for questioning. He is alleged to have struck his wife with a K-knife. The review of Fiji's Investment and Policy Act aims to attract the right investments with local investors' interests considered. This comes as the Industrial and Trades Ministry works with the World Bank Group and the International Finance Corporation to ensure Fiji is suitable to the changing environment. Kelly Vadala reports.
Trades Minister Fayez Koya today highlighted the benefits of reviewing the Investment Policy Act. However, opposition MP William Kavoka questioned if this included the interest of local investors.
Will the review factor in those areas that need to be protected, restricted for local investors?
The investment reform will take a holistic approach that will establish a new investment regime, and whilst being attractive to investment, is also protecting our national interest.
Opposition MP Professor Biman Prasad then questioned the minister on why Fiji has not climbed up the ladders of the World Bank business rankings.
Question is, why can the minister explain why we keep getting a lower ranking by the World Bank on the ease of doing business?
It has come from the Ministry of Economy and from the Ministry of Industry, Trade and Tourism, and we have told them so. Madam Speaker, and I'll say this publicly, the World Bank is not always correct.
Koya says having a comprehensive investment act in place will enable local investors to be more transparent when dealing with investment.
It will enable the Fijian government to provide specific rights and protections to foreign investment, whilst providing the domestic and the existing investors an avenue where their investment is adequately supported.
The ministry is working with the World Bank Group and the International Finance Corporation to review the Investment Policy and Act. Kelly Vadala, FBC News.
Still to come, nearly half of our population suffers from anemia. And Mary Samisoni sworn in Parliament today. Stay with us.
Bula, kera mai singatoka, kera ndo talita kana varorong na Radio Fiji 1 and Domoy Viti.
Ayaw na rin siya. Uti kami nasom buti ko lang ndo talita kana Radio Fiji 1 kina Domoy Viti.
Ayaw ko yato sila talit. Nagurara may nawamanyi. Nandunga. Gitu talita gini ang gitu Venezuela. Nagudurong. Varorong na Radio Fiji 1 na Domoy Viti.
Na Radio Fiji 1 na Domoy Viti na bonga ni BNN.
Almost half of our population, or 41.6% of people in the country, is estimated to suffer from anemia. The Minister for Health said in Parliament that this is due to the effects of climate change on food and nutrition. The Health Ministry has now developed a policy on food and nutrition security 2018 to see this through. Savara Tambor reports that there are other diseases that could arise from this issue.
Climate change affects all dimensions of food security and nutrition and was seen to have contributed to a lot of challenges faced by the Health Ministry in terms of food and nutrition security.
Climate change, as I said, affects our food production. It affects our nutrition security capacity, which in turn increases our dependency on imported foods and processed foods, and also becomes a huge contributing factor to the escalating levels of NCDs.
Akbar says most people suffering from malnutrition, underweight and overweight come from the same households. However, opposition MP Dr. Biman Prasad said the high cost of the nutritional foods are the ones that are affecting Fijians the most, especially the low-income earners.
Can the minister tell this House that it is the high cost of living and the prices of many of those nutritional items that are affecting the nutrition security of many of our people, especially low-income people?
I think it's lost on the other side. What I'm saying is let's promote healthy living by growing our food locally. That's what I'm saying.
Akbar also confirmed that 31.4% of our adult population are overweight, while 31.7% are obese. This means that more than half of our population are at risk from suffering from diabetes, hypertension and cancers. Sabara Tambua, FBC News.
Attorney General Ayaz Said Qayyum has once again clarified that Ethauke land acquired by the state that is no longer being used must be returned to the landowners. Said Qayyum made the statement while responding to opposition MP Semesa Karavaki's question on how land acquired by the government can be reverted to the landowners. Ali Kimbia with the story.
While confirming that Ethauke land acquired by government or the state must be returned to landowners, Attorney General Ayaz Said Qayyum said it is unfortunate the previous constitution did not allow this.
All subsequent constitutions, including the 1970 constitution, the 1990 constitution, the 1997 constitution, which they all support, similarly did not allow the reversion of such lands.
Opposition MP Semesa Karavaki says the land should not be converted to state land and should remain a native land. Said Qayyum says this is not the case if the land is being used for public purposes.
Land being acquired, not to be converted to state land, but to remain as a native land, but leased by the state, so that the landowners can continue to receive benefit at the duration of time.
When you acquire land for public purposes, because of the security of tenure and because of the investment that's been made by the state needs to have complete control over that land for that period of time in which it is used for public purposes.
The 2013 Constitution states that any Ethauke land acquired by the state for a public use after the commencement of the Constitution must be returned to the customary owners if no longer required by the state. Ali Kimbia, FBC News.
Sadelpa MP Dr. Mary Samisoni is the newest member of the Parliament. Dr. Samisoni, who was sworn in this morning, was awarded the vacant seat after the death of the late Ratusela Nanovo and subsequently the unavailability of Ratuchone Kumbombola, who was next in line. A seasoned politician, Dr. Samisoni was last in Parliament 12 years ago. In her maiden speech, the owner of the franchise business Hotbread Kitchen called for more discussions.
However, this homegrown process model can be applied to solving many of our urgent challenges, such as rehabilitating the sugar industry, rescuing the health system, and expanding information communication technology capabilities. It can be empowering, less stressful than normal decision-making and debate, yet be more productive. Make no mistake, properly applied, it can link diversity to unity.
The second day of the trial of 4 men charged with murder continued in the Suva High Court today. Alipate Namoto, Simone Tudila Sr., Simone Tudila Jr. and Epeli Tudila are charged with 1 count each of murder in the death of 21-year-old Siti Veningali in February 2016. It is alleged the murder occurred at a service station in Nakasi, where the 4 accused are said to have beaten the man to death. Prosecution witness Police Sergeant Chimesa Lave took the stand today and explained that he was directed to obtain the surveillance footage from the site of the alleged murder at the mobile service station. Sergeant Lave told the court that on the 19th of February, he downloaded the footage to a designated hard drive, which was part of police's operating procedure, before transferring it to a compact disc. The prosecution's case today was based on verifying the collection of the evidence and ensuring police procedures were adhered to. The murder trial continues tomorrow. The world price of butter has gone up due to the increasing demands, forcing the increase of local prices. While responding to a question posed by Government MP Samuela Vunivalu on the increasing price of butter in Parliament, Minister for Public Enterprise Ayaz Said Qayyum says the increase is logic. Said Qayyum also responded to a supplementary question by Opposition MP Nico Nawaikula, saying that farmers now get more pay compared to the early days of Rewa Dairy.
The reality, Madam Speaker, is that the government has taken away the ownership of Rewa Dairy from the farmers. And my question is, as a result of all those changes, is the milk production increasing or not?
I just mentioned to the Parliament that the farmers still own shares. They are shareholders. Yes, they are 20% shareholders, Madam Speaker, without any liabilities. A company that is $17 million debt, Honorable Nawaikula does not understand debt. A share is a share is a share. You have shares in the company, which means you're a shareholder of the company, which means you're an owner.
The Fiji Broadcasting Corporation's Open Day that will be held this Saturday is an event not to be missed. Bull FM presenter Apanisa Rakanathe says that this is the best time for listeners and FBC TV viewers to come and experience the modern technology that is being used and meet our presenters. Rakanathe says they always come up with new ideas to entertain the crowd, and this is the best time to come down with your families and have fun with the Bull FM personalities.
As well, to the public and to the viewers, this is the best time to come down and experience what ABC is all about. Since when ABC started until today, this is how far ABC is going. And the new modern technology that we are having right now is the best time to the public to come down and experience.
In sports later on with Jamie, team registration for Mara Sevens closes, but here's Kelly Varvala with the latest in business.
Thanks, Jackie. Good evening. Coming up in business tonight. Fiji Link welcomes third brand new Twin Otter aircraft. And in growing Fiji, new bus bay for students in Savu-Savu. Stay with us.
Moala rarara ranavika, o tikongona taunu singatoka, andou talitaka na wakaronga ng Bull FM, number 2 na serre.
Miado rasu buni kurnambili, iborani batukara hambara binaranga. Total takinal na warrongan ng Bull FM, number 2 en serie. Bula!
Bula FM, number 2 en serie.
Leading business, the Fiji Airways Group has welcomed its third brand new Viking DHC-6 Series 400 Twin Otter aircraft for Fiji Link. This increases Fiji Link's Twin Otter fleet to 4 with 3 Series 400 and an existing Series 300. The airline has an option to order a fourth aircraft and will make a decision on this at a later stage. Fiji Airways Managing Director Andre Filion says it is wonderful to see the completion of the fleet upgrade. He says the investment is part of the group's fleet modernization program. The Twin Otter aircraft services domestic routes from Nadi and Suva to Rotuma, Lakemba, Kandavu, Didhia, Vanombalavu, Taviuni, Koro and Savosavu. Rocco now joins us with the latest from the money markets.
Thank you. The US dollar extended its latest retreat in Asia last night after a key advocate of free trade in the White House announced his resignation when President Donald Trump would go ahead with tariffs. Closer to home, Australia held its interest rate decision at 1.5%. Performance of Construction Index for February was released at 56 versus 54.3. Aussie gross domestic product figures dropped this morning and traders are awaiting to see the latest growth numbers. New Zealand has the best importer rates today after the release of Global Dairy Trade Price Index at 0.4% versus negative 0.6%. Upcoming for today is US unit labor costs, non-farm productivity and labor productivity figures. We'll see how the data reacts to the currency against FJD basket. And that's all from me for now. Vinaka.
Thanks, Rocco. Looking at today's currency exchange rate set this morning for the Fijian dollar. The Fiji dollar rose against the American dollar and PNG Kina, while it dropped against the Australian and the New Zealand dollar. Taking a look at the commodities market, oil prices were down $1 at $61.90 a barrel. Gold rose at $1,336.96 per ounce, and silver closed at $16.75 an ounce. Approximately 500 students attending Montfort Boys Town in Savosavu will soon be able to begin and end their school day more safely after a new bus bay that will be built outside the school. Fulton Hogan Highways Operations Manager North, Solomon Nambete, said that the work will include an installation of a 900-diameter culvert that will be backfilled to provide a decent space for buses and taxis to stop. Nambete says students and parents will be safer because they will be able to wait in a safe area and not worry about the oncoming vehicles. The length of the new bus bay will be 20 meters long and 3 meters wide. That's business this evening. Here's Jamie now with sports.
Thanks, Kellyanne. Good evening. Up ahead in sports, Ndolo Koto ready to debut for Fiji Warriors.
मैं प्रेमिला वायरुकू रेकी रेकी से सुबह मेरी आँख खुलती है तो मैं मिर्ची एफएम सुनती हूँ. मिर्ची एफएम इज नंबर 1. इट्स सो हॉट.
हम लोग बार टाउन के कैरियर ड्राइवर लोगों ने हम लोग के मिर्ची एफएम सुनो अच्छा लगे. मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट.
हाय, मैं संध्या नारिया रेफरेकी से. मेरे सारे दोस्त मिर्ची एफएम सुनते हैं. मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट. आई लव मिर्ची एफएम.
हमें स्पिन टोटो ताबू आके मिर्ची एफएम में सबसे अच्छा गाना बजे.
मिर्ची एफएम इट्स हॉट.
Mesula Ndolo Koto will make his debut for the Fiji Warriors at Hooker when they take on Samoa A this week in the World Rugby Pacific Challenge. The former flanker captained the under-18 QBS team that won the Dean's Trophy in 2012 and also had a short stint with the ACT Brumbies. He last represented the country in the Fiji schoolboys team a few years ago and is looking forward to game day.
No team's a pushover, so the boys are pumped and psyched for the game on Friday, and we're all looking forward to it. We're going to give as hosts, we're going to give the rest of the teams a good run for their money.
Wilmoni Koroi and Tim Mickelson will not feature for the All Black Sevens squad at the Vancouver tournament this weekend due to injuries. Team registration for the 42nd Fiji Beta Maris Sevens closed yesterday with all spots filled. Maris Rugby Club President Lawrence Thikaram confirms that 64 teams have been registered to compete at the two-day tournament. All competing teams and team names as well as the pool draws will be announced on Friday. Meanwhile, today, Fiji Sun declared its support for the tournament with sponsorship of $45,000 worth of print advertising.
I thank all the rural teams and the village teams for being some of the very first to make their registrations known to the Fiji Peter Mara Sevens. This is part of the process of development. And
we assure the organizing committee of not just our advertising support, but also of our continued unmatched coverage of the event. We are indeed very privileged to be a part of this tournament.
Meanwhile, Fiji Sevens Olympic gold medalist Masivesi Ndakuwanga has been signed to join the Western Force for the new World Series rugby competition, which was launched by billionaire mining magnate Andrew Forrest yesterday. Ndakuwanga will return to Union after a year with the Canberra Raiders. The former Fiji Sevens rep is expected to play a vital role for the force, which is scheduled to play Fiji, Samoa, Tonga, the Crusaders, Melbourne Rebels and Hong Kong this year. It's been announced the new competition will kick off with the Western Force to play Fiji on May 4th. Fijians will now have the chance to watch National Rugby League matches live on FBC TV. For the first time in its short history, FBC TV has secured the rights to air live NRL matches on its free-to-air channel starting from tomorrow. FBC TV will air 3 matches a week, 2 live and 1 delayed. Melita Vanga reports.
FBC TV, basically we are aiming to be like a one-stop shop for all television broadcast in terms of sporting rights for rugby, soccer and all the other national interest, sports of national interest. And NRL definitely, NRL will definitely be appreciated by a lot of Fijians as they view it from the comfort of their homes. A great achievement. The first match will be broadcast tomorrow night live.
It's a good thing because we are able to watch the International Rugby League from overseas.
It's good to watch and also Fijians taking part in the rugby league.
Opportunity for the Fijians to witness the games live at competition at international levels and be able to cheer for their fellow Fijian brothers like Marcelo Montoya, William Kikau and Tukam Kamila and some other names.
You can watch the Broncos-Dragons match live on FBC TV at 9 p.m. tomorrow and also the delayed coverage of the Cowboys-Sharks match at 8:30 p.m. Saturday, while you can watch the Bulldogs taking on the Storms live at 10:05 p.m. Saturday. Melita Vanga, FBC Sports.
Meanwhile, FBC TV will also continue its live coverage of Super Rugby matches. This has been made possible through sponsors Digicel, who have agreed to share the Super Rugby feed at a cost to FBC TV. FBC Acting Chief Executive Vimlesh Saga says this year's competition promises to be another competitive round of games, which the FBC is proud to bring to Fijians on its free-to-air channel.
On sharing the feed for selected Super Rugby games to FBC TV with of course a fee. FBC TV, being the free-to-air television broadcaster, is unwavering in their bid to ensure that all Fijians watch their favorite Super Rugby teams perform.
This is rugby heaven. There is more exposure to Super Rugby here in Fiji, I believe, than anywhere on the planet. Fijians obviously love their rugby. I can't convince all of them to follow.
Nominations are open for the 2016-17 Fiji Football Association Awards. Fiji FA Chief Executive Mohammed Yusuf says the awards night is scheduled for the 24th of this month. A total of 15 awards are up for grabs, including the prime honor of Footballer of the Year. The event will take place at the Fiji FA Academy in Vatuanga, Suva.
We are just sent circulars to the association districts to send in the nominations. And we are working that to make it a big event.
That's it from Sports Tonight. Join Angie later on with weather and in new media. Check out the new Nokia 8 Sirocco smartphone. That's coming up.
Bula, kera mai singatoka, kera ndo talita kana varorong na Radio Fiji 1 and Domoy Viti.
Ayaw na rin siya. Kombinasyon mo tikola untuk talita na Radio Fiji 1 kena Domoy Viti.
Yang gue agak silil tali, negara ramai na omani, nandunga. Gitu talita gini yang gitu Venezuela, nangkutu rongo, varorong na Radio Fiji 1 na Domoy Viti.
Na Radio Fiji 1 na Domoy Viti na ponga ni BNN.
In new media tonight, the Nokia 8 Sirocco may be a swanky flagship many have been waiting for. It has a curvaceous body, is also waterproof and has wireless charging. It's weather time now with Angie.
Hello there and welcome to the Weather World. A blissful Wednesday with beautiful sunshine. Also note tropical depression TD09F is gradually moving westwards and away from the group. So while it's moving away, we might have few associated showers and thunderstorms. Looking in the west for today, after few showers, the day deemed to be clearer and brighter, few showers can be expected. Eastwards from Peck Harbour to Suva, a beautiful day with rain clouds hovering over and light showers are likely. And up north, sunshine with humidity was the order of the day here. At sea, easterly winds 15 to 20 knots with moderate to rough seas. For the tides, low tide will be at 11:06 p.m. with high tide at 5:10 a.m. Sunrise will be at 6:07. For tomorrow, we're getting closer to the weekend and conditions are looking promising. Drier and sunnier spells are approaching. Tomorrow's temps, Savu Savu will be the coolest with a low of 29 degrees. And looking further on to Friday, we could get a much clearer day throughout. And that's all from the FBC Weather World. Jackie.
Thanks so much for that, Angie. In Fijian Pulse tonight, we asked, should there be a spot fine for bus drivers playing loud music?
Yeah, it should be. It always disturbs people in riding the bus.
No, because it attracts passengers, but they have to keep in a certain level.
Yes, I think so.
Yes, I think it's good to have the music loud because it relieves some of the passengers' stress.
Loud music in the bus. Youths like you, they like it. But old people like me, and even older, we don't like those kind of music because it's loud.
In the world of the weird and the wonderful, robots are becoming social companions thanks to advanced artificial intelligence, emotional recognition. Recapping the main stories, FEA to embark on a $200 million project, Speaker to make a ruling on AG's alleged breach, and student nurse allegedly stabbed this morning. Now for these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. To our poll question this week, we are asking, should an international standard facility be built in Fiji to host big sporting events? Visit our FBC website to answer. Before we go, our shot of the day taken at the Nandi International Airport by Chone Naikarua. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. You can also follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. That was the FBC News for tonight. From the team and I, stay safe. Good night.
Wrong on the radio Fiji 1 and Domoy Viti.
Ayaw na rin siya. Kombinasyon ko untuk talita na radio Fiji 1 kina Domoy Viti.
Kaya kuya go sila tale. Nagurara may naomanyi nandunga. Gitu talita gini ang gitu pinasabale po nagpunto rongo. Barong na radio Fiji 1 na Domoy Viti.
Na radio Fiji 1 na Domoy Viti na ponga ni BNN.